Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, this is Craig Atkinson.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. Yourself?
Very good. So before we get going, let me review a disclaimer that we read at the start of these calls. CAS Investment Partners uses the information freely on these calls to trade publicly traded securities. As such, please share with us any material and non-public information you may have. Please be aware that we will assume that none of the information you share with us would constitute material non-public information. In the event you believe you've accidentally shared material public information with us, please let us know immediately. Please acknowledge that you understand and agree by saying yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. So by way of background, I work at a firm called CAS Investment Partners. We are long-term concentrated value-focused investors. So simply we try to invest in companies that publicly traded, where we think that we can understand the business and that the business is going to be worth a lot more than the stock price implies in 5 or 10 years or whatnot.
Yeah.
And so we've spent some time studying B&M and discount retailing in the UK and Europe, and I guess you have a fair bit of experience in the space. So if you'll start by walking me through your background, the discount retailing in the UK and Europe, and then we can, and B&M, we can go from there.
Yeah, no problem. Well, I've worked in retail now in the UK for over 15 years, and I've spent the last 10 years at senior level. I first started my career working in supermarkets, whereby I worked on nights in the ambient department. But my career within the single price retailing really started when I started with Pound World, who was a major competitor of Poundland. I worked for Pound World for 6 to 7 years in total, whereby I was a store manager, area manager, regional manager, and the head of operations there. From Pound World, I moved on to a company called 99p Stores, who were a southern-based company in the UK, predominantly with units within central London and surrounding areas. I worked with 99p for over 2 years, and it was when Poundland acquired 99p Stores. They merged the two businesses, and Poundland invested heavily in purchasing 99p, which meant they took a competitor off the high street and formulated it into Poundland. I spent 7 months in total with Poundland, whereby I introduced their new multi-price concept, which was aimed at a different market and obviously to compete against the likes of B&M Bargains, Home Bargains and so forth, as Poundland didn't have a multi-price opportunity within their stores at the time. So it was a great move forward for the business. And during that time, obviously Poundland was acquired by Steinhoff, who obviously introduced their clothing range, the Pep & Co range. So as it stands, they're one of the leading multi-price retailers in the UK at present.
Great. So maybe help me understand, when I look at a B&M, and it maybe compare and contrast for me, if you will, of B&M, the Poundland, and also with the now defunct Pound World. Help me understand a little better. You see, it's a little hard, just because I can't go shop in stores too often. Help me understand a little better how they're the same, how they're different in terms of the store size, pricing, layout, merchandising, customer base, etc.
Yeah, so B&M Bargains are the number one retailer within the UK and have been for many, many years. And the reason why I say that is the SKU count that B&M operate is far superior than most other retailers. They are in a lot bigger square footage units. They have much increased footfall, and the pricing differentials between the two are major. So B&M have always been a multi-price retailing unit. They've always had far superior ranges, and obviously they're growing at rapid rates. So, but there's always been a market for the pound industry. Now, obviously B&M Bargains do sell products at £1 and cheaper range, cheaper pricing within their units, but fundamentally they have been probably one of the leaders. It's like Woolworths. I don't know if you was aware of Woolworths within the UK that ceased trading over 15 years ago, and that's really when B&M started to take off. So they've kind of stepped into that market, and with it being such a discounted retailing unit, it does generate very good turnover.
And what makes the B&M model superior to the Woolworths model that preceded it?
Well, I mean, at the moment, it's really about cost. It's really about the value that you're getting for your money. B&M, and again, as I said before, Woolworths was a retailer that was predominantly known for toys and gifts in that kind of sense, whereas B&M have taken it to a new level where they've got garden centres, they've got decoration range, paint, and they have so many more superior SKUs. So it's like a shop within a shop. Is B&M, and you're always going to get a good quality product at a very good price. So you can spend £10 on a kettle for argument's sake, or if you wanted to go a little bit more market, you could spend 20. So the range is far superior than your average retailer on the high street. However, it's great value, and that's what the customers like. They have a savers range, or they can have an upmarket range. It is quite a niche market that they operate in, and as I said before, with the size of the units that they operate from, up to 30,000 square feet. They've got a hell of a range within their stores.
So when I think about comparing and contrasting a pound store, be it a Poundland or 99p or the old Pound World, I think of the pound stores, even if they've expanded outside of £1 offers, are still very heavily weighted towards very low price offers, and pound being a still big part of the business, as well as generally lower quality merchandise, with a real emphasis on being inexpensive, in a sort of less pretty neat, clean store, more focused on really the D&E shopper, demographic in the UK. Whereas of course BME is more of a C1, C2, maybe D type of shopper. They have things for less than the pound, but they also have things that are maybe nicer. They have great value, but maybe not necessarily absolutely low total prices. And obviously the stores are bigger, and they have the big FMCG offer, which is very attractively priced as a way to drive footfall. Do I sort of broadly understand? Is that kind of a fair comparison?
Yeah, I mean, very early on, within the pound industry, there was a demographic that the pound industry obviously resonated with, in terms of people with very low income, and that was looking for a very cheap shopping experience. However, that is still maintained to today, but at the same time, with Pound World and Poundland, the way their market was going, there was an area that they needed to invest in, which was the current SKU count and